So this is the original Porsche PCM1 that came with this car. And then later models that had the PCM2, 997 had the PCM3, but actually on the internet I didn't really see a good overview of these navigation systems. So yeah, I'll try to just show you what each button does and what you can do with this. So this of course is your volume knob, and also if you press on this, then this does turn off the screen and it also mutes the navigation. Press it again and the screen comes back on. Then in here, so you can switch between the cassette player and the CD player if you have them connected. In my case, I don't have a cassette inside and I don't have a CD player connected. Up here you can choose between FM and AM stations. You can have different station presets. So you can see there's FM B2, FM AS, FM A2, and so on. So 3 different settings for the FM. And of course here you can change between different radio stations that you have saved, and if you want to save radio station, just press on one of these buttons, hold it, and this will save it. If you want to search different radio stations, you can press here on these arrows, and then this will take you through different frequency settings that are here between different stations, I mean. Then of course here, if you have a cassette, then this is what you can use for the cassette, to take the cassette out or to switch. Then next, let's talk a bit about these buttons. So right now you can see we are actually on the main page of the screen. So you can get here simply if you press on main. If you go to audio here, then you have a lot of other interesting settings in here. So if we go to frequency, you can see that you can have the manual frequency mode, so you can adjust it manually. If we go here into settings, then you can change your equalizer settings, so the loudness, treble, bass, and so on. So for example, if we go into bass, you can see we can also bring it up, bring it down, and so on. Of course, the balance, the fader, SDV, I'm not really sure what this is. If you know, leave an answer in the comments. And let's now go back. So these are all the settings we have in here. Now we can go into telephone. In my case, I don't have a SIM card in here, but you can see I do have the car phone. So to take off the car phone, you don't pull it, you lift it up from the bottom and it comes off, and then you can call somebody or pick up a call if you're using a SIM card there. I believe based on where you're located, some SIM cards might still work with this car. Actually, that's one of the things I would like to do with it. I would like to get a working SIM card so I can use my car phone, because I think it's quite a cool thing to have this in here. Alternatively, what some guys do is that you can actually remove this and you can replace this with some normal modern phone holder. That's also one potential mod that maybe I will do in this car in case I'm not able to get this car phone working. But what's interesting is that you can still actually call emergency numbers. So in case, God forbid, you are in an emergency, even without a SIM card, this car phone will still work. So you can still dial the emergency number if it ever comes to that. So now if we go here in the navigation, then you can see it has a small disclaimer, and let's press here on OK. And then we can go, for example, in here, you can enter your address where you would like to go. Yeah, you can set your route. But yeah, in my case, I don't really have this navigation CD that is needed for that. So yeah, that's why I won't really be able to fully show this. But anyways, yeah, quite interesting thing to have, I guess. Then if we go into BC, so this means onboard computer or board computer. Anyways, this is the car's computer, where you can see all the things such as the range, journey data, distance, speed limit, and all these various things. So for example, also here you can change the language of the navigation system, change the fuel consumption, how it's shown, and yeah, adjust the units of temperature, set a warning when the car exceeds a certain speed limit. For example, you can make it give you a warning when you exceed, let's say, something like 150 kilometers an hour. So you can go like this, and then you can see it's now armed, so it will beep when you exceed that speed limit. And for the screen as well, you can switch between day design, night design, which you can see is a bit slightly more orange. tinted or the automatic one. You can also adjust the contrast of the screen, which I think is quite nice. But in this case, let's just leave it here in the middle. Now we can go back, and yeah, that's actually it. You can change the time, time and date, and so on. Oh, sorry, I believe the date you actually cannot change. That's one interesting thing on these cars. So the date is stuck in the past because apparently Porsche Navigation used some satellite that no longer exists. So you can still set the time on your car, but you cannot really change the date. The date is stuck in the past, stuck in the good old days of 2005. And also what's interesting is that you can go to this AC control, which it doesn't allow you to control anything here, but it does show you the AC information on this big navigation screen, which I think is quite a cool feature, and especially maybe if you want to monitor your coolant level. So let's again go here, and so now you can see I have this 90 degrees on my AC, so I know what's my engine's temperature, and then also I know what's the interior temperature. I see that the AC is also turned on, so also quite an interesting thing, I believe. And yeah, if you want to go see the map, then you can press here on map, and now, so the navigation disk should go in here, and then it will show you accurate map. But now you can see, so it doesn't really load that. So now we can go back to the main screen. And one really interesting thing that I like on these navigation systems is that you can go dark. I think that's really cool. You can press here, and then the music will keep playing, but the screen will be dark. I think this is really nice because especially when driving at night, even though you can see this, the background of this screen, this is in black color, but sometimes you would still want to also turn it off. At least I do, and that's why I think it's really cool. You just press here on dark, and it goes completely dark. Kind of a bit similar to how aircraft screens also work. So yeah, quite cool thing, I think. And now let's go here. This repeat, I believe this
the navigation system is ready.
Yeah, so now she talks to me. You can see this is for the navigation, and for the phone also, I believe this is to either pick up the call or drop it. I'm not fully sure, to be honest, because I have not yet used the car phone. So yeah, that's the overview of the Porsche PCM navigation system.